trigonometry, there will be a lot of problems which are practical in nature and it requires knowledge in solving right triangles. So in this presentation, we're going to be dealing with problems wherein we are going to apply the different concepts we have learned from our previous discussions. Okay? And in dealing with this kind of problems, we're going to be dealing with two concepts, and those are the concept of angle of elevation and angle of depression. So now, how are we going to define angle of elevation with that of angle of depression, and how are we going to differentiate them? Okay, suppose that you represent A. You are the observer, and drawing a horizontal line from your eyesight, that will be what we so-called the line of sight. And if the object that you are looking for is above your line of sight, suppose we have here a tree and you are looking at the top of the tree, which is represented by point C. Now the angle formed from point A to point C prior to the line of sight would be what we so-called the angle of elevation. Again, angle of elevation is formed if the object that you are looking for, or if you are looking to, is above the observer's eye or above you. Next, how are we going to define angle of depression naman? Alright, suppose that you are standing on the top of a building. Okay, so you represent A, and then your line of sight would be represented by line AB. Okay, now in this case, the object that you are looking for is below your line of sight. Suppose that you are looking for point C and it is represented by a car. Okay, so from point A to point C, the angle formed prior to our line of sight would be what we so-called the angle of depression. Okay? So let us now differentiate. Angle of elevation is formed if the object is above the observer's eye, while angle of depression is formed by if the object that you are looking for is below the observer's eye or below the line of sight. Okay, so those are two basic concepts that we're gonna be dealing with in solving problems in right triangles. Okay, but then there would be a more not complicated, but there would be a more challenging application of the solutions of right triangles, and this would be applied in plane surveying and marine navigation. Now, angles there on those fields, angles there are measured in a very special way. Hindi lang po natin siya basta-basta mine-measure. Okay? Hindi po tayo nakaka-encounter ng negative na angle when it comes to plane surveying and marine navigation. Instead, ito po yung tinatawag nilang bearings. So, ano po yung bearings? Okay, suppose we have here our four basic directions. We have the north, west, south, and east. Okay? Yung bearings na tinatawag natin is actually the measure of the acute angle prior to our north and south line. Okay? So, ito po yung magiging focal point natin, si north line at saka si south line. Okay? The bearing or the measure of the bearing or the measure of the angles, yung tinatawag nating bearing, is determined by the deviation of the angle from the north and south line. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? Suppose we have here point O to point A. Okay? And that makes a 70-degree angle. So, ano po yung bearing ni point O kay point A with regards to our north line? Kasi dito tayo nag-base kay north line. Okay? Yung magiging bearing niya would be north 70 degrees east. Or we can actually read this as 70 degrees east of north. Ibig sabihin, yung line natin nag-deviate siya or nagbago siya ng 70 degrees prior to our north line. Okay? Again, this can be read as north 70 degrees east, or we can actually read this as the 70 degrees east of north. Okay? Let us have another example. Suppose we are looking for the bearing from point O to point B, and that actually measures 30 degrees. So the bearing would be south, since ito na po yung naging focal point natin kasi nasa baba na yung ating object. That would be south 30 degrees east, or we can read this as 30 degrees east of south. Ibig sabihin, gumalaw siya ng 30 degrees pakanan mula sa south. Okay, so that is what we so-called bearing. And we're gonna be dealing with this kind of problems as we go along with our discussion. Okay, so let us have examples of problems wherein we're going to apply the knowledge of SOHCAHTOA. Okay, suppose we have this first problem. Find the height of a pine tree if 100 feet from its base, the angle of elevation of its top is 32 degrees and 29 minutes. So, tulad nung nasa mga previous discussions natin or previous video discussions, mas maganda mag-solve ng problem if ang uunahin natin gawin is to illustrate the problem itself. Okay, suppose this is the pine tree at hinahanap natin yung height niya. Okay, and sabi dito, from 100 feet from the base, so ayan, mula sa base ng ating tree, 100 feet, let us call that point A. The angle of elevation of its top is 32 degrees and 29 minutes. Mula sa taas daw ng pine tree, papunta kay point A, yung angle of elevation niya is 32 degrees and 29 minutes. O bakit angle of elevation ang tawag natin? It's just because the object that we are looking for is above our line of sight. Okay? Next step after illustrating your problem is for you to state our given. So, ano-ano po ba yung given natin? Ang mga given natin dyan is, kung makikita natin sa problem, that would be angle A, that is 32 degrees and 29 minutes. So, ano pa po yung ating mga given? So, sino po si 100 feet dito? Ano po yung magiging label ni 100 feet? Would it be the hypotenuse, opposite, or the adjacent side? Okay, so if you noticed, si 100 feet is adjacent to our given angle, meaning to say, si 100 feet yung magiging adjacent side natin. And we are actually looking for the height of the tree. So, si height of the tree, ano ngayon siya dun sa right triangle natin? Prior to our given angle. Since the height of the tree is actually opposite to our given angle, well, therefore, the height of the tree will be represented as the opposite side. And that is actually what we are looking for. Okay? And considering the three basic trigonometric functions that we have discussed, the SOHCAHTOA, alin kaya dun sa tatlo, kay sine, cosine, or tangent, or pwede din naman yung reciprocals niya if you want to, kung gusto mong ma-challenge, alin kaya dun sa tatlo or dun sa anin na trigonometric functions, yung ang primary concern ay ang adjacent side and opposite side. Okay, so that is the tangent function. So we are actually looking for the tangent of A equals O opposite over adjacent. So ito si TOA. Okay? And to look for the value of the opposite side, what we're going to do is just to substitute the values from our given to our formula. Okay, so we are looking for the tangent of 32 degrees and 29 minutes. You can actually convert this first into decimal degrees if you want to. Pero dahil given naman tayo ng calculator, pwede na natin siyang idiretso. So that's gonna be the tangent of 32 degrees and 29 minutes equals, since we are looking for the opposite side, we'll leave O as it is. That's gonna be O over our adjacent side would be equivalent to 100 feet. Okay? And doing algebraic manipulations, para ma-solve natin si O, what we're going to do is to multiply both sides by 100. So that's gonna be 100 times the tangent of 32 degrees and 29 minutes equals O. Alright? So, meron na po tayong formula in getting the O. What we're going to do is just to simplify what is to be simplified. So that's gonna be 100 times what would be the tangent of 32 degrees and 29 minutes. Okay, so that is actually equivalent to 0.6367 or 66 and so on and so forth. Alright, so that's gonna be 0.6366 I'm gonna put ellipsis, meaning to say there are still a lot of numbers after the last number, and that is equivalent to O. Okay? So, simplified, what is to be simplified? That would be equivalent to, so i-multiply lang natin ito by 100. So, that's gonna be equivalent to 63.67 rounded off to the nearest hundreds. Okay? So, the opposite side will be equivalent to 63.67 feet. Okay? Since the unit of measurement used in the problem is feet. Okay? So, the opposite side is or measure 63.67 feet, or we can actually say that the pine tree's height is 63.67 feet. Okay? So that's how we solve that kind of problem. Okay? All right. So you can actually check it using other trigonometric function. Let's say, for example, you want to solve it using sine, or what do you call this? Sine ba? Or that would be cosine. All right. Let us check it using the cosine function. So that's gonna be the cosine of A equals, or hindi pala natin pwedeng gawin si cosine of A dahil hindi naman given si hypotenuse. Actually, pwede nyo naman kunin si hypotenuse para ma-double check nyo rin. Okay? Pero pwede din natin gamitin yung reciprocal niya, or what do you call that? Si reciprocal function, which is the cotangent. Okay, so it's up to us on how are we going to double check our answers. But then again, the height of the pine tree, given that the adjacent side is 100 feet and the angle of elevation is 32 degrees and 29 minutes, that would be 63.67 feet. Okay? So that's gonna be it. Next, let us have another problem. Okay? From the pier 6 meters above the water, the elevation of the top of the tower 2 kilometers away is 3 degrees and 12 minutes. Find the height of the tower above sea level. Let us first illustrate the problem. Okay, so this would be the sea, and this is the pier, which is 6 meters above the water. Okay, let us consider this, 6 meters above the water, wag natin kakalimutan. And then, there's a tower wherein 2 kilometers away. Okay, bakit ginawa kong 2,000 meters? Kasi magkaibang unit of measurement yung ginamit natin dito sa problem. So, dapat pareho sila. That is why I converted 2 kilometers into meters, which is actually equivalent to 2,000 meters. Okay? So, yung angle of elevation daw from the top of the tower to point A is 3 degrees and 12 minutes. Okay? So, paano po natin makukuha yung height ng tower above sea level? Okay? So, let us first write the given. Okay? So, yung given natin is actually angle A ulit. That is 3 degrees. That is 3 degrees and 12 minutes. And then, si 2,000 would actually be our adjacent side because it is adjacent to the given angle A. So, that's gonna be 2,000. Okay? And we are actually looking for the height of the tower. Pero kapag sinabi nating height of the tower above sea level, we have to consider this. We have to consider the pier that is 6 meters above. Meaning to say, yung opposite side natin ay aadan natin ng 6 para mahanap natin yung height ng tower above sea level. Okay? But then, pwede naman natin kunin muna si O. Okay? Para malaman natin yung height ng tower above sea level. Okay? So, given angle A and an adjacent side, and then we are looking for the opposite side, what trigonometric function best fits the situation? Okay, so again, that's gonna be the tangent function. So we have the tangent of A equals equals opposite side over the adjacent side. Okay? And that's gonna be the tangent of, since we are given the value of angle A, that is 3 degrees and 12 minutes. That is the tangent of 3 degrees and 12 minutes. 3 degrees and 12 minutes. Oops. 3 degrees and 12 minutes. Where is that? Okay. Alright. 3 degrees and 12 minutes, sorry, equals, or the tangent of 3 degrees and 12 minutes equals the opposite side, kung saan na yun yung hinahanap natin, or that actually represents the unknown, the opposite side over the adjacent side, which is equivalent to 2,000 meters. Okay? And that's gonna be, for us to solve for the opposite side, we're gonna be doing algebraic manipulation by multiplying both sides by 2,000 para matira si O sa kabila ng side ng equation. So that's gonna be 2,000 times the tangent of 3 degrees and 12 minutes equals the opposite side. Okay? And then, simplified. What is to be simplified? So, isimplify muna natin si trigonometric function. So, that is 2,000 multiplied by what would be the tangent of 3 degrees and 12 minutes. By the way, you can actually convert DMS to decimal degrees first kung gusto ninyo. Okay? So, that's gonna be the tangent of 3 degrees and 12 minutes. And that is equivalent to 0.0559 and so on and so forth. Okay? So, ilalagay natin would be 0.0559. I'm gonna put ellipses again, meaning to say there are still significant figures after that. Okay? And that's gonna be equal to O. So, what are we going to do is to simplify. What is to be simplified? 2,000 multiplied by the function value of the tangent of 3 degrees and 12 minutes. That is equivalent to 111.82. Okay? So, that's gonna be the value of our opposite side. Okay? Alright. So, that is 111. Oh, sorry. Okay, ulitin lang natin. That is the tangent of 3 degrees and 12 minutes multiplied by 2,000. Sorry. The tangent of 3 degrees and 12 minutes times 2,000. That is 111.82. 111.82 meters. Okay? Since meter yung ginamit nating value or unit of measurement. Okay? But then again, this is just the height of the tower itself. Hindi pa natin nahanap yung height ng tower above sea level. So, kung hahanapin natin yung height ng tower above sea level, we have to consider the height of the pier, which is 6 meters above the water. So, what are we going to do is for us to add 6 to the opposite side, or the height of the tower. Sorry, this is 111. To add 6 to the height of the tower itself para malaman natin yung height ng tower above sea level. So, that's gonna be 111.82 meters plus 6 meters. And that is equivalent to 117.82 meters. Okay, so this will be the height of our tower above sea level. Okay? Again, you can check that using other trigonometric functions aside from the tangent. Alright, so let us now proceed with our last example. Okay, let us have this problem. A car traveling due west is sighted 2 kilometers north of a radar outpost. 10 minutes later, the bearing is, or we're going to be dealing with bearing here. Its bearing is north 79 degrees 43 minutes west, or we can read this as 79 degrees 43 minutes west of north. Okay? And then we are to find for the speed of the car per hour. Okay? So let us represent or let us illustrate the radar here. Sabi, yung radar daw is 2 kilometers away from the car. Okay? So sa north ng radar, nandun yung car. And that is 2 kilometers. Okay? And then after 10 minutes daw, after 10 minutes, the car is or deviates from the north line by 79 degrees and 43 minutes west. Okay, so ibig sabihin yung car natin papunta sa west. That is why yung bearing natin is north 79 degrees 43 minutes west. Okay? Ang hinahanap ngayon natin would be the speed of the car per hour. Okay, so paano po kaya natin malalaman yon? Alright, so first things first is for us to ang kukunin natin would be the speed. Ang speed natin would actually be represented by the opposite side. Okay, opposite side prior to our given angle. Okay, so let us first state the given. So that's gonna be, okay, so, hindi na natin babaguhin. Let's say, for example, yung angle na na-form would be angle A then. So, that is 79 degrees. That is 79 degrees and 43 minutes. Okay? Next, 2 kilometers here would be our adjacent side prior to our given angle. So, that is adjacent side equals 2 kilometers. And then we are actually looking for the speed of the car per hour. Okay? So, that's gonna be, we're actually looking for the opposite side, which represents the speed of the car. But then again, ang sabi dito sa problem, 10 minutes later, its bearing is 79 degrees and 43 minutes west of north. That is just 10 minutes. So, how are we going to find the speed of the car per hour? Okay? Ano pong gagawin natin? Kung per hour yan, ilang 10 minutes meron tayo sa isang oras? And that's gonna be 6. So, for us to get the speed of the car per hour, we are to multiply the value of O by 6. Okay? So, yun po yung hahanapin natin. Okay? So, considering our given, we have an angle, 79 degrees and 43 minutes, and an adjacent side of 2 kilometers. So, ano kayang trigonometric function na nagsusot dito sa ating given? Alright? And that's gonna be, again, tangent function. Okay? So, si tangent function ulit. Nagkataon lang, or it's just so happen that the 3 problems actually needs the tangent function for it to be solved. But then again, not all problems ay tangent po ang ginagamit. It's just so happen. Alright, so tangent of A equals tangent, that is TOA, so opposite over hypotenuse over adjacent. And we are actually given the value of A, which is 79 degrees and 43 minutes equals our opposite side, that is actually our unknown, that's gonna be O, over the adjacent side, which is equivalent to 2 kilometers. And for us to solve for the value of O, we're gonna be doing the algebraic process by multiplying both sides by 2. That's gonna be 2 times the tangent of 79 degrees and 43 minutes equals O. Okay? And then, doing all the mathematical calculations, first things first is for us to get the function value of tangent of 79 degrees and 43 minutes. So, we're going to be using our calculator. That is the tangent of 79 degrees and 43 minutes. And that is equivalent to 5.5115. Or 5118, sorry. Okay? But then, gagamitin natin lahat ng significant figures para mas accurate yung ating value. That is 5.5117. And I'm gonna put ellipsis here. for the reason that there are still significant figures that we're going to consider. Okay, and the multiplying that function value by 2, that is equivalent to 11.02. Meaning to say, the opposite side is equivalent to 11.02 kilometers. Since kilometers yung ating unit of measurement na ginamit sa ating problem. But then again, this is just the speed of the car 10 minutes later. Okay, considering our given angle or bearing. So how are we going to find for the speed of the car per hour? Okay, since there are 10 minutes per hour, what we're going to do with this opposite side is for us to multiply that by 6. Okay? So wala naman sinabi sa problem na nag-change siya ng speed. Alright? So it is on a constant speed. Ibig sabihin, we will assume, dahil wala naman sinabi na nag-change siya ng speed, we will assume that that would be constant. Kaya, we simply multiply the value of the opposite side by 6. So, that is 11.02 kilometers multiplied by 6. And that is actually equivalent to 66. Okay? Let us use the calculator para mas accurate. That is 66.14 kilometers. Okay? So, this will be the speed of the car. This would be the speed of the car per hour. Okay, given this following situations. Okay, again, kaya lang po natin multiply by 6 is that dahil wala naman sinabi sa problem, we assume that the car is at a constant speed. Okay, so that's gonna be 66.14 kilometers.